Hi there, Brian Wright, founder, CEO of New Patient Group, host of the New Patient Group podcast, and managing partner, co-founder of Right Chat. Thank you for checking out this 8 ways your receptionist is costing you millions in this new economy. Not going to be going through all 8 right now. The intention here is just to give you some really good value on a few. Get you engaged about how things need to be different in this new economy. With a new consumer, competition has created a commodity inside the healthcare practice in orthodontics, dentistry, and beyond, regardless of what type of doctor you are. An important thing about our phone training that you will see as we dive into these courses is that our phone training is actually customized based on the type of doctor you are. It cannot be a one-size-fits-all approach anymore. Those days are gone. There's a lot of big-name companies out of there that have been around making millions off of people that just say, hey, we're going to do it one way. Those days are gone. And the reason they're gone, and these are a few different stats I'm going to talk to you about that are very, very important for your business mindset, is one, according to the Benson Koppel and Dental Economics, people now call upwards of 5 practices before they decide which to visit. Think about what that means for your practice. What it means is your receptionist, who for years in dentistry, orthodontics, just in healthcare in general, they've been a data collector. They say hi. Hopefully they're nice along the way. Unfortunately, that doesn't even happen a lot of times, but hopefully they're nice. They take data and they hang up, right? That's been the job of the receptionist for years. But what's happened because of competition and people calling so many practices, and make no mistake about it, you're involved in this. One of the biggest mistakes we as business owners can make is all we can say, well, that's somebody else, right? No, this is you. This is us. The reality is it's a commodity now. So why I bring that up is that your receptionist is now in a sales role more than ever before. Her verbiage or his verbiage, overcoming objections, handling complaints, consumer psychology, presentation, edification, all of these non-clinical skill sets inevitably will make or break your practice in this new economy. Okay, another stat for you. People now people now enter upwards of 3 practices before they make a buying decision. Now, a couple things there. Very important psychological terminology, and this is how you must view the phones. Just as important, if not more important, than your treatment coordinator if you're an orthodontist, whoever's presenting money inside if you're a dental practice, your hygienist if you're a dental practice, etc. The reality is, or exam flow, whatever it may be, your receptionist is the keys to the machine. Here's why. So the halo effect, remember this and write this down. The halo effect is the psychology of how if humans like part of the whole, they're very likely to like the whole. So if you like a little bit, you view the whole thing that way. As an example, let's say you go to a restaurant and you have a great waiter. The waiter was just fantastic. You leave that restaurant going, wow, all the waiters in that place, man, those waiters are fantastic, right? Meanwhile, the rest of the waiters, the other 99 of them, could have been terrible. We do this all the time. We also do it in the other way, all right? And this, unfortunately, is how we do it most of the time as humans, because we tend to focus, unfortunately, on the negative. But think about this. You buy a car. Let's say that manufacturer makes 1 million Mercedes E-classes, okay? You buy one, and yours is a POS, a piece of crap, all right? It's giving you nothing but problems in the shop all the time. What do you think about the Mercedes E-classes? Well, they're not good cars, right? Well, reality is, what if all the rest of them are perfectly fine? We do this as humans a lot, and I bring this up because however your receptionist is, however they come across, are they jubilant, exciteful? Do they speak with edification? Just going off about the differences and the uniqueness of your doctor or the doctor in your practice, the team members, the convenience, the experience. How do they making that people feel? Because if they do, which unfortunately they don't, and we make thousands of mystery calls to prove it, reality is consumers view you exactly however that receptionist just came across. The halo effect, very, very powerful terminology to remember. And we see people all the time. The reason I brought up the people going inside the practice is the reality is they should already be closed before they walk in. You should get a 5-star review on Google. And we have new patient group clients do it all the time. And then Right Chat, who answers new patient calls either as the primary or the backup for our customers. We get people to write 5-star reviews before they even enter the practice. All right? It's a game changer with this phone training, but you've got to come from a mindset that your receptionist is now in a sales role. They must convince that person why they should schedule over the other 4 or 5 places they're calling, but even more importantly, why they should show up. If you have a no-show problem, we're going to talk about this in a minute. The no-shows are your receptionist's fault. It's not the new patients, okay? It would be nice if they showed up. Yeah, that would be the nice thing to do. But the reality of the situation is when you call and schedule at 3 or 4 different places, whoever wins that receptionist battle, that's where they're going to go. All right, so let's dive in. There's a lot of other terminologies we'll talk about in the full course, but let's dive into this one. The very first one that is killing you as a practice is missed phone calls. This heart-to-heart, business owner to business owner, we created an entire company called Wright Chat off of the simple philosophy that you are missing new patient calls, and if you are using an answering service, they are costing you thousands every single month. Why? Picture yourself as a consumer. You hit Google and you're looking for a dentist. You see an Invisalign commercial. You hit Google and you're looking for an orthodontist, whatever it may be. You pick up the phone and call that first one. You see a nice reviews. You call, boom, nobody answers. What do? I can promise you, you're not leaving a voicemail. And please, please don't be the business owner that thinks they are, okay? The one rare exception is if that caller's calling you from a very loyal referral, and that's why they're calling. But even then, why would you want your brand represented that way? We have found with Wright Chat, we have data that if you're on average, a 30 new patient a month practice, you are missing at least 3 new patients a month because a call's not being answered. Now, a few different things. Before you open, at lunch, after you close. Those are 3 high influx call times because that's when people can call, all right? Those are also times when people miss calls at the practice, but we have found a unique stat where the most missed calls happen during your business hours. Why? Picture your office. Nancy up front that's supposed to be on the phone. She has to say, hold please, which by the way is another reason Wright Chat exists. So you never have to say those words because no existing patient of yours should ever have somebody say hold, right? That's not customer service. That's terrible. That aggravates people. But at the same time, if somebody's checking out up front, what are they supposed to do, right? Well, here's what they're supposed to do. You let that phone ring. Why? Because you have Wright Chat to back you up. But this is not about Wright Chat. This is about a hospitality and reimagining what your front looks like. Because the reality of the situation is that if people have the phones ringing and they've got people looking in front of them wanting to check out, door chimer going off, family sitting in the waiting room or 5 families sitting in the waiting room, it is impossible for your office to get all the new patient calls. Now, if you're an orthodontic practice listening, just going to use you as an example, and you charge an average case fee of $6,000, which I hope you're at least that much. If you're not, you need to be. All it takes is 1 missed call every single month. That's 12. That's $72,000 of potential revenue. If you're a 70% conversion, start doing the math. You're more than that. Dental practice is watching. Your case is usually not as much upfront like an orthodontist, but you actually make more off of that patient over the course of time. So yours is double or triple, if not more, over the course of time. You have to be thinking this way as a business owner. All kinds of data we could dive into. And from a Wright Chat perspective, Wright Chat actually answers the call and speaks as if they're sitting at your front desk. We remote into your software, schedule that new patient. It's like a call center on steroids, but they come trained by me. Okay, and our lead VIP new patient phone call coach with new patient group, she trains the agents along with me, and they're impeccable. So good that we have customers that use this as a backup, hear the calls, and they say you just answer as the primary, and that keeps us from needing a receptionist. Amazing business model that will transform your practice without you lifting a finger. That's the beauty of it. The next one we're going to talk about, and this is more new patient group related, who I'm the founder and CEO of. All right, new patient group really transforms practices in a multitude of ways, but there's work involved, okay? Anything worth it, I think, from an inside your door perspective, there's going to be some work, but boy, oh boy, does it pay off. And let me talk to you about a couple things. The second one that absolutely kills practices is lack of value. Let me paint this image. We mystery call tons of practices. I speak all over the world, and I do role plays on stage. And this, give me an example. I'll give you an example of what I do. All right. One of the things I do is I'll bring up some receptionists. I'll have a screen put up. And what I have on that screen is a question from the caller. And the caller says, what should I expect at my first appointment? Let's say you're an orthodontic practice, right? Because that's going to be different than a GP. And that's why you've got to have a customized approach, not only based on the type doctor you are, but based on the type practice you are. Are you the highest dollar in the community? Are you a Ritz-Carlton? Or are you more of a churn and burn and you're the best Western? That in itself constitutes very different types of phone calls, all right? If you're going to charge high dollar, boy, oh boy, you've got to offer another $5,000 worth of value from a non-clinical perspective. Why? Because that's what consumers, that's what they relate to, right? You could be the best clinician in the world, but they don't know the difference in the schools, the difference in the x-rays, the difference. They don't know. They do know if they were greeted when they walked through your door. They do know how the receptionist treated them. They do know all the non-clinical things. And that is what you have to keep in mind. If you're somebody that says, I want to be the highest price, well, that means you have the highest clinical, non-clinical experiences around. So these mystery calls, the receptionists respond the exact same way to all the questions. And what I do is on the next slide, after I say, Mary, Janice, whoever's standing up there, let's role play. All right. First question I have for you is, what does my first appointment look like? They give me their answer, and their answer, then I flip it to the next slide, and the next slide says exactly what they told me on stage. It was almost like I'm a psychic, and I knew exactly what they were going to say. But why? Because all the receptionists say it that way. If you call your own practice and you say, what does the first appointment look like? This is what they're going to say. Well, we're going to get you in here. You'll fill out some paperwork. You'll meet the doctor, and we'll take some X-rays and some photos, and we'll give you your treatment plan and your total price at that time. That's what they say. Now, here and there, different words, of course, but that's what they say. Pretty much dental practice plus same way across the board. All right. It's not, sir. Thank you so much for calling. That's a great question. Let me first tell you, when you get in here, it's going to be an immaculate experience. We're going to greet you right away when you walk through the door. We respect your time. Our patients don't wait here, okay? It's a big differentiator here. We make sure our schedule works for you. It's a big game changer. Our doctor, one of the best in the country, speaks all over the world, in fact, teaches people how to do Invisalign. So I'm not going to keep going, Doc, but here, don't you already see the differences? Because you have to build value, and as you do that through edification, right, the amazing things start to happen because halo effect, right? And another psychological terminology for you that is so important is the domino effect. The domino effect is all about how our brain needs to hear messages. I could say something to you, make you mad. You could say the same thing to to me, or somebody else could say the same thing and make you happy. It's all about presentation and verbiage skills. And why that's so important when people shop around is our minds work in images. So every word I'm speaking to you right now, or if you've ever seen me speak on stage, or if you follow my new patient group podcast, all of this stuff builds images. So you've got to ask yourself, what images do you want to come to mind whenever people think about you? Hopefully clinical excellence, somebody that cares, you offer wonderful value, you're convenient, et cetera, et cetera. Well, it's up to the receptionist to use those words to paint those images. And as those images are created, the halo effect works in your favor. And there's something called the power of persuasion. The power of persuasion, you may have heard the power of persuasion, Robert Cialdini, it's his bestseller. Well, he's got a better one that people don't know about very much. And it's the persuasion book. It's how those principles are used prior to the quote-unquote sale. If you use them right, you now have a receptionist that is giving you starts, getting you same-day starts, increasing the amount of cash people put down prior to them even walking through the door, which you have to, again, remember, in a competitive, commoditized world, if your receptionist does not know how to create unique value for you, right? And the reality is they don't. Because just like I said, no matter what question you ask them, they respond the same way. How much do you charge for? What does the first appointment look like? My teenager wants Invisalign. Can you tell me more about it? They all respond the same. And then you wonder why people shop on price. Why? Because the consumer sees you the same as everybody else. That's the beauty of the new patient group program, because bring so much power inside your doors, but also with your content, with your online marketing as well. It's a total game changer. But between the no-shows, or excuse me, the phone calls not being answered, and your receptionist not being able to place value on certain things, and people saying, let me think about it, and walking, you are at a 30 new patient practice a month. Between the calls not being answered in those situations, you're losing another couple every month that you don't know about, because your receptionist is not going to run and say, hey, doctor, guess what? I lost so-and-so today. I couldn't put enough value on this type of question. Right? The other one, because now you're already up to about $100,000 if you're an ortho practice up front. Again, dentists more. And if you are an ortho practice especially, dentists, yeah, you could look at it this way, but especially for orthos, the first sale's not where you make money. When Joey comes in and Joey's parents found you on Google, that's not where you make money. Where you make money after you close Joey is Joey's sister, her sister's 2 friends, Joey's 2 friends, and it domino effects out of there. That's where you make your money, because now you have this organic free referral stream, right? You had to pay somebody if you're coming up properly on Google, right? You get the point. So if you're missing between the calls not being answered, the lack of verbiage skills to create value through edification, consumer psychology, all the things I just talked about, you're not only at $100,000+ loss as a practice, in addition to that, you're losing all the domino effect referral streams that come from the loss of each one of those patients. That's where your mind has to always be as a business owner, is how am I losing my butt in ways I don't know about, right? Because it happens. And the leaky holes we don't know about are always worse than the ones we do. That's the beauty of being an entrepreneur. You got to enjoy it, but you also have to be smart enough and a visionary enough to realize, crap, these things are happening to me. And if you need proof on phones not being answered, how many times have you called a business where they didn't answer and you wanted to buy? Happens to us all the time. How does it feel? Kind of sucks, right? The mistake business owners make is, for whatever reason, they don't then think, crap, this is happening to me too. It is. The edification happening to you as well. It's just the reality of the situation. So those 2 things. Then your no-shows. I want you to count your no-shows every single month. A lot of practices don't pay too much attention to them. But again, we'll use an orthodontic example again. Now, if you're another type of doctor watching this, all of this stuff applies. Just applies in a different way, right? Again, GPs, you actually make more money off the patient than the orthos, just not right away. Like, there's kind of some delayed gratification oftentimes in the GP world, right? But these all apply to you, even though I'm giving some ortho examples here. You look at the no-shows. The no-shows in this new economy are absolutely the receptionist's fault, along with what happens after you hang up to the time people show up. We have a really cool program with New Patient Group between the phone training we do and the downtime, we call it, time you hang up to the time they show up, that reduces no-shows 30 to 80% every time tried. It's a game changer for practices, because just look at your data. If you start answering new patient calls you're missing, teach your receptionist all those verbiage skills I'm talking about, and then also reduce your no-shows 30 to 80%, you're looking at $200,000, $300,000, possibly $400,000 of growth without spending a nickel on outside advertising. And this is the mindset you must have in the new economy. While other people are dumping advertising dollars, we see it with New Patient Group customers all the time. 15, 20, 30% growth during down economic times, even higher during good ones, and they don't advertise. The people down the street for them are dumping money into pay-per-click and radio and all this stuff that you don't need. If you would just open the mind to going, crap, I've got leaky holes from the time people call to the time they show up to the experience when they do show up, how my TC is taught real sales fundamentals, not from people inside the industry. And that is our big value proposition. Right Chat agents, I purposely hire them from outside of healthcare. I know healthcare, I can teach them that stuff. But I want people that come with hospitality and sales skill sets, because I can build on those. Same way with TCs. Love TCs that come from outside of healthcare. Why? If they come from hospitality and sales, boy, oh boy, with our TC training, we can take them to a level you can't even believe. But here's the thing. You have to be an open-minded visionary, a forward thinker, to realize that if you start looking at every touch point the consumer has with you and realize you can plug holes, you can do things differently, you will have multi-million-dollar growth. So what I want you to do is click on this link, okay? So if you want to go check out a receptionist course, you just need to go to newpatientgroup.com/receptionist. If you want to get the full course of this, because I just gave you 3, all right? Not answering calls, lack of value, and no-shows. We have 5 more, the way the receptionist is really hurting you, okay? And they're just as big as the ones I just talked about, right? So we've got to combine those. We got to train those, all right? And what we want to do, if you buy our online receptionist course, we're going to give you a series of personal training sessions on the phone, all right? Our lead New Patient Group phone trainer, Brenna, who's also an agent for Right Chat and also trains the Right Chat agents, she's going to coach you through a series of online sessions. If you choose that you want more, you can bring other parts of our program aboard, but let's focus on knocking that out first. The receptionist course, I'm the trainer in that 8.5-hour on-demand course. We're actually going to come out with a new one too. So once we redo our new one in the studio right behind me, that is coming in a while. We will notify you when that happens. We will give you the new one as well. And it's going to be great for you, all right? Watch the videos, implement stuff. You will love it. It is a game changer for practices, because this is not the old get on and off the phone as fast as possible. Of course, you want to be efficient, but you never sacrifice value for the sake of getting off as quick as you can. It doesn't work in a commoditized, competitive environment. Rethink how it used to be, because the on and off the phone, these big companies that's made all kinds of money off people like yourself over the years, they do not work anymore. They do not work anymore. If you're a forward thinker, that's what our ideas are for. They're designed for forward-thinking practices to take them to the next level and beyond. You'll love it. Go ahead and click on that link and find that free course for the All 8. Check it out. Give me a call. If you want to ask for me when you call our 800 number or our live chat and our websites, I'm happy to have a business chat with you and spend as much time as possible. Really enjoyed it. Hope this meant a lot to you. Hopefully it starts to reshape your mindset. I know for a fact it's going to make a big difference for you. Go ahead and invest in our receptionist course. Give us a call. I'll chat with you and spend as much time necessary to take that mindset where it needs to be for this new economy. Best of luck to you. Look forward to you coming aboard and becoming a new patient group or Right Chat member. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye. Hey, Doc, Brian Wright here. Hope you enjoyed that powerful message that I hope you take to heart, because it is an absolute game changer. And now I want to offer you a discount code. If you enter in discount 20, that's going to get you 20% off that receptionist course. Enter that in. We're going to have that available for a limited time, and you'll also still get those free coaching sessions with Coach Brenna, our lead new patient phone call coach and lead trainer of the Right Chat agents. And also, and just what we talk about from a leadership perspective, you can't ask somebody else to do it if you're not willing. She also still answers phones as an agent for Right Chat as well. She's a game changer. She's one of my favorite employees of all time. She's going to be training you in your practice. Go ahead and enter discount 20, get that 20% off. Looking forward to working with you and welcome you into the new patient group family. Talk to you soon. If you ever need anything, like I said, reach out on our live chat, our 800 number on our website. Ask for me. I will spend as much time with you as possible chatting business. I love that stuff. We'll talk to you soon. Welcome to the family. Bye-bye.